All right. What is up, guys? It is K-Rod here today, and yeah, we're back at it with another good boxing live for y'all today. Um, I'm gonna be having a little boxing show for y'all today, in which I will have the great pleasure to speak with female professional fighter Agnesa Kirakosian um, to talk boxing. So yeah, let's get everything started, and yeah, we should be pretty good today. So yeah, I should be good to go. I'm going to probably get something going on. All right, all right, here we go. Hey, what's going on, guys? Shout out to you, Jeff. It's been a long time. Thank you for coming by. Salute to you. Thank you for coming to the show. Should have Agnesa coming in. Um, she'll be coming in pretty soon, so me and her will talk boxing and we'll just have a pretty good conversation for y'all today. Um, I got a lot of boxing news for you guys, and I think today's topics are gonna be pretty good. I'm gonna definitely ask her some good questions and get her point of view on it. So hopefully, me and her can definitely chat it up. Yeah, man. I appreciate you for coming by. It's gonna be a good episode. I have a lot of good topics to break down for her today. Speaking of which, we actually have boxing coming on tomorrow. For any of you that are interested, we have Naji Lopez going up against Lenin Castillo from the Dominican Republic. Um, I believe this is at 175. Super, yeah. I want to say light heavyweight. Yeah. Naji Lopez will be fighting him, and that will be scheduled sometime around 8 p.m. That's when the card usually starts. So yeah, that should be pretty good for tomorrow. Definitely looking forward to that fight because I think Lenin Castillo will be a very very good test for Najee. He can punch, he can box. I will say he's not the same Lenin Castillo from the past. He definitely has some kinks, in his armor, but I think that'll be a good fight for Najee. I don't know who's gonna win because Lennon he could definitely upset him, but I'm very happy that Najee Lopez he's going up against high level veterans at this stage of his career. So I think Lennon Castillo is a great opponent to get you ready for all the big big level fighters at 175. And I have to say the 175-pound division is very competitive. Simply because that for those of you that don't know, um, Dimitri Beagle and Artur Beterbiev will rematch for undisputed. But after that fight is done, that will now set up between the winner between David Benavidez going up against David Morrell. And I have to say that's going to be a really good division to spark up in the future because a lot of the fighters that are probably going to move up from 168 to 175, it's going to open up like a lot of bigger doors for bigger fights to come. Definitely looking forward to seeing where the fights will lead to. Um, in terms of how things will go, it's going to be interesting to see where things will, level itself out. So I'm not too sure. I think 175 is going to be interesting, and it's going to be I think it's going to be a pretty good division, and I think 168 is still going to be good. That's still going to develop more talent over time. I think Canelo he's going to be out of the door pretty soon, but um, as far as everything else that is going on, I don't really see anything else that's really going to be making any other big fights made in the future other than I mean Errol Spence is going to come back, Devin Haney is going to come back, and I have to say shout out to Turk Al Sheikh. He's making a lot of great fights right now, and I have to say the competition is definitely heating up. Um, I really would like to see I should say I want to see Errol Spence fight probably the winner between Crawford and Canelo. I think that's gonna probably be really good to see. It would be nice to see that into the mix because although people like to talk about the Errol Spence situation with him and Fundora, I'll probably talk about that in my discussion. So I'm definitely looking forward to doing that. That'll be a good, discussion per se. But yeah, everything else is pretty good. I'm definitely looking forward to it. So I don't know. Yeah. So right now I'm just waiting for Agnesa. And then after that, we'll be good to go. So yeah, just hold up, and then that'll be set. And yeah, I'll just put on some music for you guys. Um, yeah, man. Other than that, everything else has been pretty good, man. I got more of like my gaming content coming out for you guys. Definitely will come out with more videos. Yeah, let me find like a better music. Yeah, like I'm gonna play some lofi. Yeah, like I'll do that. All right, but yeah, let's do that. Actually, yeah, like I'll actually do this. All right, so yeah, before Agnesa shows up, um, I'm just gonna sit here and chillax, before she shows up, talk about some boxing content. Um, oh, also some other good cards that are coming up. Who else is coming up for fights? I know that Golden Boy they're coming up. We have what? We have hmm, I don't even know, man. I think honestly, yeah, Naoya Inoue he's fighting on Friday, and then what's a boxing this week? I always keep forgetting. Yeah, let's see. For the boxing, we got Naoya Inoue coming up. Oh yeah, we got Diego Pacheco versus Steven Nelson. I think that's a very very good fight. Definitely looking forward to that. Then let's see, we got Eric Priest going up against Tyler Howard. That's kind of interesting to see that fight go down. Tyler Howard, he can fight. Like I actually like his style. It's gonna be interesting to see how that fight's gonna go down because Tyler, even though he's not like the greatest fighter out there, but I think I don't even know. I think it's gonna be interesting. Actually, let me take a look at the card because now I'm actually pretty interested of. Yeah, I'm pretty interested to see who's on the card. Eric is 26 years old. He's a very good fighter. I like watching him a lot. But yeah, we got Tyler Howard. He's on the card. Let's see. Don't really have much of anybody. We got Caden Griffins. Yeah, he's not that bad. Uh, Grant Flores. He's pretty good. He's a pretty good fighter. He's going up against David Lobo Ramirez, a 17-3 guy from Costa Rica, and yeah, that should be a good fight. I'm definitely looking forward to that. Oh, this is going to be a good fight. For those of you that may like this fight, 16-0 undefeated Hector Valdez. I like him a lot. He's a good fighter. He should have stayed more active in his career. He was out of the ring for quite a while back in 2022 of October, and yeah, after that he took a 3-year layoff. Man, I don't even know what happened with him, but I really wish he was, super active, man. But he's going up against a really dangerous puncher by Franklin Gonzalez. This is going to be a good fight, and for those of you that don't know Franklin, he's a very very tough fighter. He lost to Saul Sanchez. That was a really difficult fight on both ends. And he also lost to Emmanuel Flores. I almost forgot about that fight too. And I have to say, Manny, his record could definitely be a lot better. But yeah, I think the Franklin Gonzalez fight and the Walter Santabanas fight were like two good fights for him. So he's on a pretty good path. I'd like to see Manny step up his opposition so he can get up to the world title level and just start, just start unifying the division. So um, that should be a good fight. I think Hector Valdez, he's not a fighter that you can just walk over. And same thing with Franklin. So I think both of these guys have a lot to prove. So it's gonna be interesting to see where things are going because I think in terms of where that's gonna go, it's gonna be a it's gonna be a pretty interesting fight. He has a really good record. He beat Max Ornelas, that was undefeated back then, and yeah, he got a split decision victory. So yeah, I don't know how that fight's gonna go down. That's gonna be a pretty good card. I'm definitely gonna tune in for that coming on Thursday. And let's see. We also have what's the other card? We have the Matchroom card. I think Andy Gomez. Yeah, Andy Cruz. He's actually coming back this week. Let's see, my homie Andy Cruz from Cuba, Cuanacan. Let's go. Oh, I'm not too sure if it's true, but I think he's actually out of Miami. Not too sure if that's true though, but if he is, definitely like to see Andy one of these days. Yeah, so he's going up against Omar Salcido. That's going to be a really, really good fight. I'm definitely looking forward to that. And we have Diego Pacheco going up against Steven Nelson. That's going to be a beautiful fight. And we got Zaquim Moses going up against a Puerto Rican guy by the name of Alex Palete. Not the greatest fighter, but I would hope that fight can go rounds. So, yeah, hopefully that can be put down and that can be set up. Yeah, got update Agnesa. She's coming into the call, so she's trying to log in. And I'm just sitting here in the stream. Hold on, give me a second. I'm sitting in the lobby. All right, cool. All right, here we go. We got her.
Hello. Sorry.
Hey, how are you?
Technical difficulties.
Oh no, that's all good. How's everything with you?
Good. How about you? How's everything?
It's been good. I'm doing really good, and I definitely had a good New Year's and Christmas.
Yeah, same. Ready for the year or what?
Yeah, I am. It was my grandmother's birthday on New Year's.
Oh damn, 2 in 1.
Yeah.
How old did she turn? Or like?
I forgot. I think she's in her like 60s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
She's young. She's a young grandma.
Yeah. I mean, she's slowing down, but like I still have to help her out here and there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this good?
Yeah. Everything's good with the display.
Are we live?
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
like I
okay.
am.
Okay. Oh wait, you are. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I was gonna ask you. I saw you upload videos on your YouTube that you were at like a boxing event. I think you were at the 360 Promotions fight card over in California.
Yeah. I went to the 360 promotions card. It was pretty lit. I went with my friend Sergio Jimenez. Yeah, he had a free ticket for me, so I was like, oh, cool. There was a lot of good fighters there, and I got to interview a bunch of them, so it was cool.
Yeah. How do you think about the card? Do you think those fighters, did a good job with their fights, or?
Yeah, it was a really good card. A lot of tough opponents. Yeah, a lot of up and coming fighters showcasing their skills. It was entertaining. It was good to watch. It's a lot of young prospects. Yeah, a lot of good fighters.
Yeah, like I wanted to ask you about a couple of them. Well, like I personally know him.
Mm-hmm.
I I don't know if you know that one fighter, Omar Trinidad, right?
Yeah, yeah. He did great. Yeah, yeah. I was actually, yeah, yeah. I was watching his fight. He did amazing. He was super sharp and on point. Yeah, that was one of the fights that stuck out to me. That was the one that I really enjoyed watching. He's tall, right? Tall guy, tall skinny guy, right?
Yeah, he's like I'll say he's like a good 5'7", 5'8", but he's a he's a pretty good like tall, stocky fighter at the featherweight division.
He kind of fights like Hearns
Oh,
a little bit?
uh, I wanna put him in that category. I probably say honestly, he has like a good throwback style, probably next to honestly like I've been saying recently maybe like Carlos Zarate. One of the
Yeah,
former Mexican fighters. He has a really good similar style in that camp, and he has like a really good educated inside game. I like everything that he does because, like I told him that he has a really good style, and he's not just going in there just trying to like knock people out. He's actually boxing before he actually
yeah,
lands.
yeah. He was definitely boxing. He was using his length for sure. He was good on the inside and on the outside, and he was just kept throwing and moving, and yeah, I like that to see people use their footwork, and to have more than one skill, like they're good on the inside and outside instead of just like, oh, you know what I mean, like one directional fighter. There's some people that are just that way where they're just good at one thing. But yeah, he's a balanced fighter that like it was cool watching him fight.
Yeah. I wanted to ask in terms of like what's next for him. Do you think he should be in line with like the top 10 in the division, kind of like the world championship, like in the level of fighters in that weight class?
Yeah, I think so. I think he has a potential to get there. I mean, he still needs to rack up more wins, and then start fighting uh, like higher, like ranking fighters too. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was gonna say he's actually top 6 right now in the featherweight
Oh,
division,
damn. Really?
and
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say with the next up and coming fights that are coming up, I know that PBC is coming up with Brandon Figueroa.
Mhm.
That's going to be fighting on the David Benavides versus David Morrell fight card up against Stefan Fulton, and
Mhm.
the winner of that will probably end up fighting for undisputed. If I'm not, yeah, 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 like undisputed. If I'm not mistaken, if they can get that fight with Rafael Espinoza, in which I don't see,
Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, like I don't see that being a issue. Some people, like to play little, um, like a lot of people like to play the political game to say that PBC and Top Rank will never do that, but it's like I truly believe that 126 is gonna have to get there because if he can get his spot to get a mandatory position in which I believe he is getting closer to being a
Mhm.
summoned mandatory for at least the WBC or the IBF. I personally want to see him fight Nick Ball, and I think that's a really good fight because for one, he can get the WBA title. He can potentially beat him, and then after that, he can unify the IBF with Angelo Leo, in which Angelo Leo he's going to be fighting that Japanese guy Tomoki Kameda, and
Mhm.
he's a really he's a very good fighter on himself, but like basically like he's not far away from like getting like all the big level names, and then he could just continue like racking up more of those victories if he's able to beat them.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, I agree. Um, that's when is that gonna be? The Benavides fight?
Oh, that's
Um,
February 1st. That's next week, I think.
who do you think is gonna win that fight?
uh I mean, I like both of them. I personally like David Morrell because I think he's a really great boxer.
Mhm.
I think stylistically, I feel like Benavidez is just gonna knock him out. I just don't like. I don't like to say that because I feel like
Mhm.
Benavidez, you know, he's kind of victim to boxers that know how to like
Mhm.
box with them. And then the reason why that I'm saying that is because if you look at his previous fights with like Caleb Plant,
Yeah.
Ronald Gabriel, and those guys, they were doing really well boxing with him, and David was using all that pressure. But the minute
Mhm.
that they get tired, then that's where David Benavidez starts to break you down mentally and physically. And
Yeah.
I feel like that's what makes Benavidez a guy. As soon as he hurts you late game, it's just game over. But
Yeah, I mean, that's what good boxers, I mean, fighters do, you know? Yeah, so. Yeah, same. I think Benavides will beat him, but we'll just have to watch and see.
yeah, because
Yeah.
David Benavidez was talking smack to David Morrell, trying to accuse him for, you know, the drug testing. Like you
Oh
know,
yeah.
yeah, and I'm kind of like a little like I'm a little bit skeptical on it because I don't want to paint that you know image on David Morrell, but
Mhm.
if he was doing so well starting from his first fight at like 20 something like you know years old, in which I believe he debuted at like 21 or 22, he was doing a 10 rounder, and then after that he went up to like a 12 rounder to go for the WBA interim title. So it's like I personally think he's naturally fit to get to that level because I think like personally like for people that do cheat that shouldn't be in the sport, those people go out of their way to do so well at first, but then the minute that they get exposed, then that's where you know their skill sets end up getting beat by somebody that's way better than them. And I think eventually over time, when your body can't handle that by trying to use up the same methods to try to prepare to you know hide as much evidence as possible, I think like eventually that's gonna just show based off of how you perform because I don't think David Morrell really showcases that like you know at all, like just by watching him fight. And I think most of his fights usually just end up being knockouts or just boxing fights alone where he's just doing good keeping his distance. But for the most part, he hasn't really dealt with like I guess like the most difficult you know like opponents except for
Mhm.
his previous fight. So
Yeah.
I'll say leading up to the Benavides fight, that's yet to be determined if he's able to handle like a tough you know opponent like him because if Benavides if he just goes out there and just knocks him out just like that, then yeah I'll be surprised because I've never seen that out of David at all to just go out of his way to do that to somebody. But it's like David Morrell has to like he has to prove more than David Benavides. That's basically what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But like you're right, he hasn't really been tested like Benavides, and I feel like it's a different ball game. And if you have been in there, and yeah, I feel like, I mean, I don't know, a lot of people are on steroids and we don't really know, and people there's ways to like hide it. I don't know what the hell they do, but I feel like even the girls, a lot of them are on it. um I don't know, I've been lifting so like a lot and I don't even get any muscles, like, but then the girls I fight, they come and they're like huge. I'm just like, how? Like,
I
I don't know,
mean,
but yeah.
like your muscles are definitely very strong because like you pack a punch to beat up on women that think that are better than you in strength.
Yeah, they're stronger, they're way stronger. It's just that I feel like skill beats strength, you know? Like if it was just about strength, then yeah, they would beat me, but it's more
Yeah,
about like skill and being like smart in there, I think.
yeah. I went
Yeah,
through.
even if someone is on steroids, like I feel like that's not really gonna guarantee you the win. Like, cause skill is gonna overpower that, like if you know what to do, you know. But it is obviously gonna give you more of an edge.
Yeah, I was gonna say, back when I used to do wrestling back in high school, I remember seeing guys that don't even look naturally as big as me, but
Hmm.
the minute I try to suspect that out of them to think like that them being bigger than me could potentially mean that they could just overpower me and beat me. That that wasn't to be the case. It's like you being all super jacked up and thinking that you're gonna just whip on somebody that easily. That's not gonna happen like that. It's more to do with like if I'm skillfully gifted to like use better technique and strategy, then nine times out
Yeah.
of ten, like you're just gonna get beat down, to every fundamental flaw that you do. So it's like I think that's what a lot of people don't understand because they just think like nobody is ever capable to like get away with that and just be fundamentally sound to like be that skilled. Like I think it's more to do with like if you have horrible strategy and then you like to go in there and just utilize whatever methods that you think that you could succeed with. I think that usually ends up backfiring when somebody figures you out quickly and takes you down
Hmm.
to defeat you.
Yeah, that's true. How many years did you wrestle? That's cool.
Um,
I forgot.
yeah, I did 2 years out of high school. I started from junior year in high school, and I basically finished up until senior year because I wanted to keep on going, but I got injured in my last tournament. I went
Oh,
27 and a three, and
nice.
I could have went further to go to more tournaments. I want to say I could have went out to my last tournament in my senior year for regionals out in Corinth in New York.
Hmm.
But basically I wasn't able to because I got hurt in my last tournament. But I
Mm.
did really well. Like I went up against high level competition. And after my senior year, well actually no, after my junior year, I went into journeyman to get more practice in, up against
Hmm.
like high level competition. And then once I got better, I just started dominating a lot more.
Nice, nice. Do you think there's wrestling involved in boxing?
Um,
Like,
I don't even know. I would probably
mm,
say like to a small degree, yeah, because if you don't know how to like be physically like you know like how should I say technical to know how people are positioning their execution while they're clinching you.
mhm,
I've
yeah.
like I've always been taught in wrestling that if somebody's trying to take you down, you have to force, like you have to force your pressure up against them, but you also have to position the shot to not be leveled up against you. So if somebody's trying to take you out, you have to like basically measure the distance to avoid any punishing that's going to come from your like opponent. So I've always been taught to have like a really good defensive stance, but I also use, agility reflexes. So therefore, once I'm seeing, like the shot coming at me, I already know what to do, whether if I need a sprawl or if I need to do a single leg takedown or anything to, you know, s- counter parry the opponent that's trying to use their pressure up against me. But yeah, like I would say, like unboxing, like I personally like adapted that very well because once I got into it, in the past, I was like naturally really good at it, but I just like looked at that, in the ring, when I actually did some live sparring, and I usually just kind of like test it out myself, and then I just naturally got connected to it.
Yeah. You box, you said you box or?
Oh yeah, back up in Albany, I went out to this gym up in Quail Street. It's called the Albany Boxing Gym. That's located on Quail Street, and I was gonna say surprisingly, Sean Porter actually went out to that gym
What?
where
Oh, that's cool.
yeah. The only thing I don't like about that gym is I want to say it's a government, state run, like a like it's like a government run facility where
Mm,
they don't actually have like an actual, gym facility where you can sign up and you can actually like go there for more hours, to train. But
yeah.
I like that gym because I actually saw, like a lot of up and coming fighters that were amateurs, and I ran into Abraham Nova, on my first,
Nice.
like, first year going over there, and from that point on, I just kind of got along with like a lot of people. I wasn't able to continue with it because I was like more focused with like my career path, with working. But
Mhm.
um, I was able to go back from time to time. But the problem with that gym was just the lack of like availability, to have more times being open. So I would have gone back to it, but I personally wasn't able to go there just due to my availability. But
Mhm.
um, if there were other gyms that had like more open times that I can just sign up for, I would have done it. It's just like that part of New York that I was in up in Albany. There wasn't that many gyms that I was able to find that that match like my time preference of what I wanted to do.
Yeah, makes sense. That sucks, but yeah, that's it's cool that you did it for a little though. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, cause like personally with me, like as I started it, like I didn't even feel like I was like novice at it. Like I knew exactly how comfortable I was, and for most people, they usually just go in there to be like afraid, and then they start creating like the false sense of security. But I don't really do that. Like I just go in to train, and I naturally got better over time because I just didn't focus on like trying to have other people train with me. I like to train by myself. I usually try to have like a really intense training sequence to
mhm.
try to do certain like amount of drills, and then from that point on, like I just kind of just do everything that I like to do.
What do you like to do at the gym, or how do you go about like?
uh
Yeah.
yeah, like I used to do some pretty heavy loaded workouts. I like to do the jump rope for a good I'd probably say like 25-30 minutes, and then
Yeah.
after that I usually work on a lot of endurance level training. I just do heavy bag, and then I do a little bit of speed bag, and then after that, I just worked on mostly like the footwork. I just kind of worked more on, defensive, motion, and then
Mhm.
after that, I just worked more on I want to say a lot of conditioning. Like I just did a lot of conditioning workouts to just do that, to kind of work more on like keeping conditioning levels high, and then I just run a lot of drills doing it.
Nice, nice. Sounds like a thorough workout.
Yeah, like I was gonna ask you, what were your training training drills that you did for what you did in the pros, right?
Yeah. Let me think. Yeah, so I guess like obviously like a warm up, like running, always like getting in that like at least 3 miles, 2 miles. Getting weightlifting. What else? Like more like kind of like sporadic stuff, like oh, and sprints, drills, like different kind of drills, like jumping and all that. What else did I do? Yeah, like shadow boxing, bag work. Um, yeah, practicing the technique. Going over what the plan is for the fight. Um, yeah, there's a lot. Like sometimes I was training, like if I have a fight, like I would take it up to like 2 a days, and then excuse me, I would do like 3 a days too. For that like last fight, yeah, I would do like, and I was feeling good too. Like I would run with the heavy vest, and then yeah, a lot of sparring, different girls, different guys. Yeah, just a little bit of everything.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, do you think some fighters that overtrain, do you think that that's like a bad habit that a lot of fighters do, from time to time, that usually ends up costing them in big fights?
Yeah, I mean, you have to like kind of you have to listen to your body. um there is like some people. I remember, who was it, Vanes Martirosyan. He was like there's no such thing as overtraining. But I
Oh
mean,
yeah. Like I know that guy.
yeah. But then I don't know, some, like, my coach would always say that I am overtraining and stuff, but I mean, I try to like listen to my body and all that. So you just have to be smart, it's not about, like, especially if you're getting older. Yeah. So like sometimes I mean, when you're younger your body heals quickly, but then when you're getting older you're just like sore every day, and it's just annoying. But yeah, you just gotta like be smart. Like, some days you swim, some days you're running. Like, make it fun. Like, it's not like boring, like same routine every day. Like, every day is different, and you have to listen to your body more than your coach and everybody. But obviously, like, you have to work through the pain too, and you have to know when to taper down from the, like, you're not gonna just keep training hard and hard like throughout the whole camp. Like, there's phases in the camp. Like, sometimes you're working really really hard, and then you taper down like the last 2 weeks, especially the week before the fight. You have to be really smart. Yeah, you taper down, and even like the weightlifting, you cut it down like at a certain point. So yeah, you just have to be smart, have a good team. If you can overtrain easily. So yeah, listen to your body. Don't always just like break it. Like, you need time to recover too. You need time to rest. So yeah, there's always something to work on, but you have to also recover and eat right, and get the massages all the time. They're expensive but worth it. Yeah, go to the sauna, drink your water. There's just so much that goes into it. That's why you need a team. Like, all the fighters, we can't do it alone. That's why we need a whole team, to help. But ultimately, listen to your body and a lot of sleep. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to bring something up where I was watching a boxing documentary on Sugar Ray Robinson, and he actually made some really interesting points in the past where he wakes up super early in the morning to train, but how he does it is like he does his running, and then after that he takes a little break, and then he goes into heavy bag, combos, and then shadow boxing. And then, like, he basically breaks up his training routine to not overtrain. He just does like a couple hours, and then he just alternates over time. And
Mm-hmm.
he was trying to make like the point to say that it's not about like how many resources you need to like train. It's all about just applying like the little fundamental knowledge to like build yourself and build your character, and therefore you have like a comfortable means to like do what you want to do, and actually enjoy what you're doing. Don't just like put yourself in hyper strenuous positions where your body's just going to stress out more, and then that's usually where fighters usually crash out, because it's like that's how certain people don't listen to their body, and then they end up losing in those bigger fights.
Yeah, and then it's also like you have to be aware of like injuries and all that. Like, half the time, like, throughout camp you're getting injured while you're training for a fight. It's like you hit your thumb, or you twist your ankle. There's just so many things that happen, or your back hurts somehow, like you pulled it or whatever. You just gotta like work through it. That's why you gotta work around those injuries. And that's what I mean by listening to your body. Like, if like you're hurt like something, then work on something else. Like, let's say you hurt your foot, then you can't be doing too many heavy stuff. It's just, yeah, like, it's like super stressful, but you have to stay relaxed throughout the camp. But I don't know, I think it's just damn, it's crazy. Like, being a fighter is crazy.
Yeah, I was
Mhm.
happy that I never got injured when I used to do wrestling in high school, because there
Mhm.
were days where I went through like the hardest practices and my body was like super beat. But even though
Mhm.
I was young, like, it still doesn't matter. It's still like in the heart of at the moment in a really tough match. If that hard training that you did a couple of days before the school match happened. It's like, that easily plays a huge factor where if somebody, slams you really bad and then, like your left leg, like, ends up, giving out where, it can potentially break or get hyper, hyper sprained or hyper extended. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
that's a huge deal because like one, there's not enough recovery for you to actually heal, during the moment of the exchange. But that's also like putting a lot of pressure on the injury. So it's like to me, I rather take it slow when I'm getting closer, to my matches, and I don't really try to go super all out.
Mm-hmm.
That's why like for me, like for my issue with boxing, for certain camps that like to go super hard in training, I don't I don't like to be like the bad person saying this, but like I don't like it when people go too deep into sparring and then they start punishing their body more. But
Yeah.
but like leading up to let the fight, they end up getting injured because they were over sparring way too much. And I'm personally like against it. Like I personally don't think that should be the first thing to do all the time. I think if anything, it should be like super duper rare, and therefore your body can always be 100% to the point where like you're not having to get injured. If somebody lands like a huge shot on you, and that could cost everything.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely need to be cautious. But yeah, like at one point for the I think it was like the Jessica Link fight, like I had tendonitis the whole camp. Like from my Achilles tendons were hurting, like I could
Oh
barely
wow.
walk and stuff. Yeah. There was like I was like, dude, but yeah, so I couldn't really do the running that I usually do, so I was like rollerblading for like an hour, biking like as fast as I could, biking and then swimming. So I couldn't really run, and obviously I would box and all that. Like sparring was fine. I had to just kind of like suck it up, but I could like barely walk on some days and stuff. But yeah, yeah. I mean, hard sparring is like necessary, but yeah, not all the time. Yeah, you gotta be careful. Like, not yeah, but I mean, it's good to work on your defense and spar the right kind of the opponents. The sparring partners that mimic kind of like your opponent. Kind of the same type of style. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. So, but you do need both. You need hard sparring and like technical sparring. It's just that yeah, because you need it, because sometimes like when you're in the fight, it's gonna be hard. So you kind of have to know that you're in shape, and you can do it. You got to show yourself, prove to yourself that you're able to fight. So it's like it builds your confidence. But
Yeah.
there's so many times in sparring that I felt like I did bad, and then but then it was like I just would beat myself up about it. But then later when I look at the videos and stuff, and it's because also you're tired too from training so hard. But then when you take some time off before the fight, like that last week um, of tampering down the last 2 weeks, I feel like when it's fight day, you just like, that's why you're more sharp. And yeah, like sometimes like in sparring, I look sluggish and stuff. It's like, no, I suck. What am I doing? But yeah, like, and then my coach will be like, this is the best place to not do well, or to learn. And I don't know, I would always beat myself up. But then later when I look at the tapes, I'm like, okay, well, it wasn't that bad. I don't know why I thought it was. But yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say uh from that Sugar Ray Robinson documentary that I watched, I believe he never sparred at all, and he was just mostly doing heavy back combos. And
Damn.
like yeah, because well, I was gonna say that the reason why was simply because he was fighting like literally almost every other week, if not every other month.
Oh
And
well, yeah.
yeah, like he literally like had fights like back to back. But I think like in certain means of like preparation, like it should always be like a good maybe like one time a week or maybe two times like a week if you want to
Mhm.
like just do some good moderate level high level skill sparring, like not like going super hard where like you're trying to like knock somebody out, because I think that's where like so many guys like get so super toxic over sparring to say, oh well, I beat up that guy or I beat up that girl, like vice versa. And
Mhm.
people just use that to try to take away people's thunder, and try to like hold that up against them to say, well, I knocked that guy out and he wasn't that good. But
But
it's like,
there's so many, yeah, factors that go into that. Like what if it's like they were, I don't know, what if something was wrong, like they were injured, or if they were too tired from the week of like training, or they did a hard training right before, maybe their legs were gone, they did sprints, I don't know. I feel like you can't really, like, sparring is just to improve and do what you're supposed to do in the fight, basically, like practice all the moves and stuff and work on certain things and get better. It's not really about beating beating the person. Although it does, like, boost your confidence if you're obviously not getting hit as much as the other person and all that.
yeah,
But yeah, it's about learning. It's not really, you don't know, like they're not ready. It's not a fight. But yeah. But
yeah, I
sometimes, like,
never.
if you go to a different gym and all that, then yeah, it's kind of like a war. But I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't go hard when I spar. Like I usually just do, like a light spar. But
Mhm.
like to me personally, like I like to make it like a good, spar where you have like a good person that knows that they're just coming in just to practice. They're not coming in to hurt you, because I think like the problem that I see with like a lot of camps is that they're bringing in people that they hear that, oh, this guy's like a high level fighter, blah blah blah, but then it's like the minute that they bring that person in there, they're just using that opportunity, like that person that wants to like get their shine to like try to hurt the, like like the quote unquote really good fighter that people keep hearing like about. And like I think like that's where camps need to start being more stricter, to like just have people that are highly trusted to go in and just practice, because it's compared to other sports, it's like you don't be hearing like people beefing over like sport practice, in
Yeah,
baseball or basketball. But it's like
that's true.
yeah, like in boxing, it's like everybody just uses that as like a beef to say, well, I'm better than you and blah blah blah. And it's like, dude, like that
Yeah,
has to be like, yeah, like it has to be like like the most like senseless, nonsense ever, just to like just to one like hurt somebody, indiscriminately, and then make drama out of it. Like a good example of that would be let the Floyd Mayweather, spar, like in a spar wars, at the gym. Like I'd be
hmm,
hearing, you know a lot of stories where a lot of the fighters that go in there that are trying to impress Floyd, at the gym, they end up
oh,
getting hurt, and then, in certain cases, they end up, getting severely injured, where they're like, they're basically getting beat up, for nothing, just
yeah,
yeah,
that's what they get.
yeah,
But yeah, it's just that, like, once you're in the ring and then the other girls, it's just like, or the other person like throws hard once, and you're just like, what? Like, then you start like having a whole, like, I don't know. It's kind of like, obviously you're supposed to like control your emotions and not get angry, but come on, most boxers have anger issues and egos, so it's like a battle. But like, I don't know, or if you beat them like in another sparring and then you go back, they've been training and they want to like get like that last, like, oh, I beat her now type thing. Um so yeah, it's kind of hard to not have those spar wars. But yeah, you're right though, it should be more like technical. And yeah, like, you don't really know. Like one time I was with the kind of like with the wrong team, and um I literally had sparred a day before, and then I sparred a day before with like this heavy chick, and like she was going ham, like she came in to like kill me or whatever, and so I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna kill you, and I beat her, like, well, I know it's just sparring, but I was getting more punches on her and stuff. But the next day, I literally had to, like, they wanted me to go spar again. Like, I feel like after that, I should have been resting and not going to spar. On the way there, I got into a car accident because I was so tired. And then I still went to go and spar this other chick who she probably thinks she beat me. But I was dead tired, like my hands, like I was getting kind of beat, you know, and she probably thinks she's better or whatever. But like, yeah, so it's kind of like, you never know, like, what
So childish.
Yeah, you never know what someone's like going through or what's happening. You know, it's just sparring doesn't really prove if someone's better or not. I feel like a real fight does.
Yeah. I don't.
It's different. There's also like there's gym fighters who are like just good at in the gym, and then there's fighters who are like in fight night fighters, like basically like
Yeah, like I call them yeah, like I call those type of fighters like I call them ring fighters, like they're they're basically made for, for the bright lights, or basically with the high level pressure.
Yeah.
And I wanted to segue into that because I personally just feel like for my for those type of categories, like fighters that like to talk a lot, that like to be egotistical, they like to use that driven emotion to make their confidence higher. I feel like those fighters usually end up cracking a lot faster as a pro versus those that just work on their skills. They're very calm, they're very collected, they focus on keeping their mind like war focused, so therefore they're not thinking about anything but just keeping everything under control. But then as soon as you're in control, then that's where those athletes shine the most, because not a lot of people can get to that level where you're trying to unleash your true potential, and then you get up to that level to dominate in that fashion.
Yeah, it's just that like boxing is a really honest sport. Like, it's gonna show all the hard work, all the things you did in the dark. It's gonna come to light when you're in that ring. Somebody, I think I've heard it a lot of times, like the ring is a truth detector. It proves like who you are and your character. It shows like, are you gonna like dig deep and like work, or like, and yeah, like you can't fake it in boxing. Like, you could have all this like amazing videos on Instagram or whatever, like doing cool little techniques on the pads or fast whatever, but it's in the fight that proves who you are and what kind of spirit you have.
Yeah, I agree, because I hate fighters that do that on social media now, with like a lot of like the male or female fighters where they're just showing their pad work skills and being super flashy on the reflexes. And I'm just sitting here like, somebody who's really skilled that sees that is probably gonna study what you're doing wrong, and then they're gonna knock you out, and then they're gonna showcase what you did in training camp, and then they're gonna be like, well, yeah, that's exactly why like I knocked you out.
Yeah, that's true. People are studying your every move, and yeah, like it's not really, I don't know, like whenever I'm like I have a fight, I don't really like to post that much. I mean, I still have to because of we gotta market it and all that, but then like I don't really put out like what I'm doing, like exactly what I'm doing, that's
You have beautiful marketing.
Really? Oh, I feel like I've been
yes, you
thank
do.
you. Really? I feel like I've been slacking.
I'd be sharing everything that you publish, and I try my best to help you out.
Thank you. Yeah, I really appreciate you, and for you like supporting boxing and supporting my career too. Yeah, I actually have a video that I'm slacking because I had this video already for a while. I haven't even posted it or anything. Sometimes I just like don't post at all. I'm just like, dude, I need to get back, and then I start posting, and then I post too much. I don't know.
No. Like, it's all good. Anything,
yeah,
like anything that you put out, like I help out, like I help out people that are, that are respectful to me, and like I try to develop a good, you know, like a good bond, with people that, that want to be successful, and you know, anybody who puts in their dedication and pride into it, like I like to, showcase that to help them out.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's I appreciate the support. It's important to like, cause it's, I don't know. It's sometimes I feel like we need all the help and all the fans and everyone. Everyone's a part of it. It's not just a journey, like a solo journey. It is a solo journey, but it's also involves everyone else, like family, friends, fans, supporters. Yeah. So
Yeah, like
thank
you're sounding like Errol Spence right now. Just saying that, you
you.
know.
Wait, what?
I don't know. Like I'm saying that, like you're sounding just like what Errol Spence said.
Oh,
This is not just done by the promoters. This is done by us. Like the fighters, blah blah blah. And
yeah.
there's like another fighter that I'm really good friends with. I don't know if you know her, Zarina McCoy. She
Oh
said,
yeah,
yeah,
I don't know her like personally, but I've seen her like Instagrams.
yeah. She told me like the same exact thing. Like, it's not easy to be at that level to like market your name and actually like think like an actual entrepreneur, to be economically like versatile, to know what you're promoting. Because like I would say personally, like the main issue that I have with like a lot of boxers is that they're very economically uneducated, where they don't use like the skills that they need to produce to be smart in their careers,
Mhm.
to promote their name, but to also like get away from boxing, so they have other things to network to, so therefore they have bigger opportunities down the road. Because personally with me, like I feel like the best model is to just be your own boss and actually like expand and network with those people. So therefore, once it's all said and done, you have something to do after boxing is done. But I would also say, like, there should be like better financial growth opportunities, where like, let the fighters can have like more like, how should I say, they should have more financial control to expand like their wealth, greater. But there needs to be like better financial resources out there to guide them a lot faster. Because I understand like people don't want to go through like the, like I guess like the hard process to become like a promoter or manager, because
Mhm.
business is very difficult. But if there is a way to invest your money into be successful to get away from it, then I would tell that to any fighter that I trust, that I care about, to tell them, hey, do this, so therefore once it's over with your career, you have everything that you've put, your finances, into.
Yeah, that's true. We gotta, I guess we gotta learn it on our own, like kind of like through YouTube, or if you have people around you, then yeah, you're blessed to have like other fighters, helping you. Then yeah,
Yeah.
like yeah, if they done it before, then they could help, educate other fighters.
Yeah, I wanted to get your take on this. I presented a question in the past to another fighter that I'm really good friends with, but I wanted to get your take on it. Do you think boxing should be expanded into like bigger institutions, like maybe like college or high school? So like kind of like, let's just say in a perfect world, if boxing was like basketball, where like you see all these great athletes that go
Mhm.
straight to D1 programs at the highest level schools. Do you do you think boxing can be just like that one day, if if there was ever like a like a worldview where if you're a really good athlete, you have good grades in school, but you're going to like a D1 program, let's just say like Duke University, or colleges like UCLA, and they're giving you like a scholarship to get through education, but you could also pursue your boxing career, and on top of that you can get sponsored, get paid for everything that you do for your career. Um, do you
Mhm.
think that's like a good, do you think that's like a possible thing that boxing can like segue into, if that was like if that was like constructed properly?
I think that's a great idea. I don't see why it's different than any other sports. Um, yeah, it's competitive. I think maybe they're just scared of the trauma, the head trauma or something like that. Maybe they don't want to be responsible with the insurance. I'm not sure, but or like health wise. But I mean, I think that's a good idea. That would be awesome. If I would definitely go to college if that was a thing. I would get a scholarship. It would be awesome. But that's funny because I actually started boxing in college at a boxing club just because a student opened up the like a boxing club and he was just teaching all of us, and then we were all just teaching each other type thing, and it was like that changed my life. Like I met so many cool people and everyone was just helping everybody, like even with this guy taught me how to like write goals and think positive and read all these like good books and listen to these cool audiobooks, motivational stuff, which I didn't know about all that stuff before. And then yeah, like it's yeah, but to answer your question, yeah, I think that's an amazing idea. and and boxing just helps with everything, just yeah, like it teaches you a lot of different skills that you need in life. So I think why not, like if high schools had that, um, that would benefit like students, and yeah, and colleges too. That would be a great opportunity because that way they could get educated and be in the sport, you know, do what they love.
Yeah,
Definitely.
because I was gonna say, if everybody keeps talking about the Olympics and all these like massive like tournament level programs where athletes are trying to prove themselves, I don't see why boxing can't do that. But you can do it at the collegiate level, and then once you're done and graduated, you can go pro. But on top of that, you have like your job, that that you can market yourself into once you graduate, and you know based off of like what you're studying for, like that's just like a good way to like keep the financial marketization a lot better on your end, where you're not focusing only on boxing, and then after that you don't have anything to lean back to. So I think
Yeah.
yeah, like I think that's like a good, like I think it's a good idea. And then on top of that, I'd like to see tournaments be put in place for that, where if that was put in place, like that would easily make everything better. And it would it would be like a really good way to like market fighters, but on top of that, people have their careers that they can go back to once everything's all said and done.
I know. I don't know why they don't do that. I never even thought of that. But I remember when I was trying to transfer, I wanted to go to like CSUN, and I remember like trying to find out if they have a boxing club, or and I think they did, but I think it was like you had to be like under a certain age or something. I'm not sure, but I ended up getting in, but never going. But yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, isn't that funny? But yeah, I literally like got accepted and I forgot to take my classes and stuff. And then I was like, oh well, I guess I'm just gonna focus on boxing. And then yeah,
Yeah,
that's funny.
it would be so nice to see like all the major schools go at it with like all the boxing like events. So
Yeah,
I
somebody
would,
has to do it. We're putting it out there. You're putting it out there. Let's hopefully somebody grabs that idea and like goes with it, or somebody like who has power and money and
yeah,
influence.
hopefully that can be implemented in the future. But I'm definitely gonna try to like just have the idea promoted on my channel, and just try to put that out there. Eventually, like
Mhm.
I think that would be a good idea, because it would bring youth a lot faster, and on top of that, it would be similar to like what you see with any other high level, like American level talent, where people push all the best athletes in basketball, baseball, hockey, and other sports. But on top of that, it gives children like a much greater ambition to have something to do to be successful, rather than be misguided and not go in a good direction where they end up failing.
That's so true. And I was thinking it's because of head injuries, but then I was just thinking right now, football is like, it has a lot of head injuries too. So I don't get why. how come football is like a high school sport and boxing isn't. I never even thought of that. I never thought of that. But yeah, it's a really, really good idea.
I mean,
Yeah.
wrestling has so many risks to it too, and some people die every year, but like you still see a lot of the most competitive athletes going at it before they go into the Olympics. So
Damn, you're lucky your high school had a wrestling team. I wish if mine had that, I would definitely take it. But I had to do cross country and track, which was
oh
cool.
wow.
Yeah, but that helped me to become the athlete that I am today. I feel like because of cross country and track, that helped me, like, prepared me for boxing, and starting boxing super late at 23. I was able
Wow.
to, yeah, I was able to get like good at it faster because of the mental toughness that running uh, has given me, and all the miles that I've had under me. I feel like that helped a lot. So yeah,
Yeah, that's interesting. Because there's just so many gifted people that started late, and I kind of wish that was just implemented a lot earlier because it's like everybody says it's well, for the most part, most most people would say in boxing, like younger people should start earlier, and then they usually develop faster. But sometimes in certain cases, when you're in your mid 20s or maybe early to late, like early to mid 30s, like some people that start late in the sport do really well, but it's just really depending on how much time and effort that they put into it to be successful.
yeah, it's also like where you're at in life, and like what your kind of like what your priorities are and what you want. Like, I feel like if somebody has a dream, then if it's on their heart, then they could do it. It's just gonna require a lot of hard work and not giving up, because like just learning something new, it makes you see how like how bad at it you are, and it just you're gonna want to quit like every day, because it's hard learning something new. And like I've gone through so many things that a sane person would have quit and not boxed, like, but I think it was because of the love of the sport and just my dream of like becoming world champion that kept me um going. So yeah, anything new is just hard. It's annoying to not know something, and it's just something like I'm learning how to play drums and sing, and it's just like every day I'm just like, dude, I suck, this is so annoying. So I'm starting to remember how it was like in boxing too. But I don't know, I feel like I don't know, boxing it was still fun though, with the right team and all that. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Yeah, it's a tough sport. I feel like you have to be tough in it to get somewhere.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, do you have any plans after boxing?
Um, yeah, I mean, I I have my like cosmetology license, so that's one thing. And then um I want to learn, like, I'm learning acting. Recently I started to learn that. Um yeah, I'm learning how to sing. I don't really and I want to keep making videos too. Um but we'll see what happens. I feel like we all have a plan, but God's plans are bigger, so let's see what his plans are. But yeah, like I have a lot of like hobbies and dreams and goals and things that I want to do. So it's like there's just so much that I'm interested in. So yeah, it's gonna be exciting. Yeah, I feel like because it's like boxing and like fighting, it's not really that, like, it's just to a point. Is you can't really do it forever. So that's why I kind of like put everything else aside. I wanted to focus on boxing while I have the youth, and I can do it. But I know that it's not like a long career. But I kind of see myself as a like being a director, or I want to make films, like motivational movies and stuff. But yeah, I want to do
Nice.
everything. Yeah, it's just like,
You
yeah,
need to
that's
make
what
some
makes
beautiful movies.
what?
I said, you need to make some, great award-winning film movies and
Yeah, yeah. Maybe some
beat out
boxing
Hollywood,
ones. Maybe some boxing ones too, yeah. Um,
beat out Warner Brothers, please.
yeah, I will. I'm gonna have my own production.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Um, yeah, like I wanted to also ask in terms of like how far you've came. Do you think that's like more of like a natural, like process that kind of just got you into like where you were versus like for people that started out from like a family perspective where like that the family brought you up into it and they made their children like do it for so long. Do you think like the discipline in boxing is probably better suited for people that started from like a natural process where like they never knew that they would actually like it and then they just end up being so good at it to at the point where they enjoy it rather than I was brought down from my father or whoever in your family to like force it upon you, and then it's like eventually over time like you get like those people like a Marvin Hagler that says like I like boxing but I don't love it anymore, so it's like like you're just doing it until like you're just like okay, like I give up and I don't want to do it no more.
I think it's just the pressures maybe of the family, like especially if let's say like your dad's a good boxer or something like that, or and you have to kind of like live in their shadow or like be like them, and they expect you to train 24/7 and not have a life. And I feel like I don't know, because I feel like it all, like some kids, like even though they're born into that family, they still have that love for it, and that's why they do it. So if that's your why, because there's a love for it and you want to do it, but if you're doing it because you want to impress your mom and dad, or like you don't want to let them down, I feel like that's gonna weigh you down type thing. Like, but I do feel like anything that's kind of like forced upon anyone, they're not gonna want to do too much, like I don't know, I feel like it has to be your idea. Anything anyone does, it has to be your idea. Have you ever, if let's say um I don't know, if anything you do and then if it's your fault, you're like, okay, well that was my fault, whatever, I messed up, okay. But if someone else does something, then it's like it's because of you, they grow resentment towards their family. I'm not sure, but yeah, I feel like if you've done it for such a long time, the same thing, you might get bored of it too. But I don't know, there's some people that just love it even though they're born into that family. But yeah, I mean, mine was probably because of I think I had a lot of anger, and then when I started, it was like an outlet for me. So it was just yeah, it was like good to like get it out, and I finally started to have like that peace again. And then it was like, at first it was like, I don't know, it was just like anger, then it was passion, and it was, I don't know. And yeah, I don't really know, because I can't really speak for everyone, but I guess that's my opinion, that it depends on the person. Yeah, it's not one or the other. There's not just like black and white.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I think like it's just more to do with like how much drive do you have until everything has been fulfilled, and you have like certain paths that you want to take, and when that fulfillment is met, then you go to other things that you want to do.
Yeah, and I feel like nowadays people are starting to realize that they don't have to just do one thing. They don't have to be just an athlete. You can do so many different things. It's not just one title. It's not just it's not your identity. You're your own person, and then there's just things you like to do. And I feel like, I mean, I do believe in destiny, but I also believe in like your choices. Um, so yeah, I forgot where I was going with this.
It's all good.
uh, yeah. But what do you think about that? Like, do you think that people who are naturally drawn to it, or I mean, yeah, I mean, I never went and seeked out like I want to go box. It was more like like I say, boxing found me, you know. And it was more like they just asked me, hey, you want to join the boxing club? And I thought it looked cool. I was like, oh, it looks sick. And then I tried it and I was like, damn, why didn't I do this like before? Like, what was I doing all my life, you know? And yeah. And I just asked you a question, but I just kept talking.
Yeah, I was naturally connected to it. I never had any family members that ever got into it, so like similar to basketball, I was like naturally connected to it simply because um I have like a deep passion for the NBA, but I also like all the historical figures that brought me into liking it, like people like Oscar Robinson, Wilt Frazier, or
Mhm.
I'm sorry, Wilt Chamberlain. I'm sorry. And then other people like Kobe, LeBron, Michael Jordan, and then plenty of other legends. So I think like compared to boxing, like that's just been like the ultimate natural drive to be like, yeah, I'm like really connected to it. And if you know deep down inside that you're naturally good at doing it, and like you're not feeling like bored out of it to be like, nah, like I don't like to do this, and like you want to quit, then that's what creates like the hidden gems where people like don't know who you are, and then like as soon as you do what you have to do to be successful, then like you end up succeeding really well. And I was even going to use like people like Devin Haney for example. He
Mhm.
wasn't he wasn't like brought into boxing through his family as if like he had other family members that brought him up, but his father just brought him to a gym, and then he was just naturally good at it, and then
Mhm.
eventually he just like sprouted to be super great at what he did. And on top of that, it's like the amateur experience like doesn't matter. It just matters like he's so drilled focus into it to the point where he's like heavily dedicated because he actually likes boxing, and he has a deep passion for it. So similar with any other person that's really gifted at what they want to do for their own career, it's like the cycle of like basically it's a life cycle where you have natural you know fundamental connections of what you want to do, and those
Mhm.
natural fundamentals, those natural incentives pushes you to be more empowered to do what you want to do out of your own free will of what you want to accomplish. So as long as you have that, and you have that drive to keep you going, you will always continue doing what you do until you say, you know what, I think it's time to go somewhere else. Like it's time to do something different, and eventually that's going to call to you one day when you feel like that you've done like enough for what you wanted to do, and then eventually you'll go to bigger and better things. So I think it's good to be versatile while you're young, so therefore you can do what you want to do. And
Mhm.
I think I just see this like within like my own generation, because like a lot of people tell me like they don't know what they want to do with their lives, but it's like the reason why they say that is because they lack the knowledge to discover what they want to do, and therefore they put themselves in a false sense of a security where they have imposter syndrome, where they feel like, do I feel like that I need to be in this industry, or do I feel like that I want to stay in what I'm doing? And then eventually over time, like those people end up going in mixed directions, because they're not too sure where where they want to be. And I think that's what separates people that want to be successful versus people that hold other people down, where they don't want to be successful, and then they end up being like not motivated to get to where they want to be.
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah. I feel like everyone's wired differently, but there's just certain things that draws you, like some things that excite you, or like let's say you watch someone and you're like, damn, I should be doing that, then that's what you should be doing, you know. And you have to try different things and throw yourself in different places, you know, to see what clicks, what you like the most to do. That's why it's called self-discovery, you know, like you gotta try different things, but not just for like a day, you know, it has to be kind of like give it a chance type thing. Like try really like getting good at it and see if it does, then you don't like it, then okay, then you can quit. But yeah, don't like quit too soon. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like but even though like I didn't start boxing when I was a little kid or anything, but there was like definitely signs, you know, that like if I would always fight like outside and I was feisty, and if anyone said anything to me or did anything, I was throwing hands, and if I was always getting in a fight with my brother, so there was signs. So I feel like you can kind of tell, even as a, that's why I say people are like kind of like wired. Like you can even tell from a young age like what someone's. That's why I feel like parents and stuff, they have like, instead of like trying to mold their kids and like it, I feel like they should try to see what that kid is naturally good at, and then try to help and see what they like, what they're like, yeah, and then and help them get there, you know, and help them to be able to make money in that whatever field that is, instead of just pushing them to do what they think that they should do, or if it's a family thing or whatever. Like if my kid wants to box, then hell yeah, I'm gonna teach them. I mean, I'm gonna teach them either way because they need to know how to protect themselves, if that ever happens. But yeah, yeah, I feel like everyone should know how to fight. Like it's kind of like nowadays you really need to know how to protect yourself. Even like
Yeah.
I wanna learn like firearms. Like I wanna be good at aiming. I wanna get a gun. Like I wanna have all that. Like I'm learning like the sword fighting with the eskrima and all that. I feel like you
Oh,
should know
nice.
yeah, you should know every kind of thing, and you're never too old to learn something new. If you think that, then that's why you're getting old. If you think you're too old to learn something new, that's why you're gonna age really fast.
Yeah.
I feel like the secret is just to keep learning new things and keeping, that's what keeps you young.
Yeah, of course. Um, yeah, like I wanted to switch over to I guess like more boxing fights that I wanted to get your take on, and some boxing news,
Mhm.
and then after that, like I figured that I can, try to, close everything up, because like
Okay.
I don't want to like hold you up.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I wanted to get your take on I guess some other fights on the PBC card coming up this
Mhm.
upcoming next week. Um, who do you got with um Brandon Figueroa going up against Stefan Fulton in the rematch?
Um, that's a tough one. Shoot, I'm not sure, honestly. Um, I feel like it could go either way. What do you think? I don't know.
Um, I have no clue, honestly. I really want to say
See, it's hard.
Fulton. Yeah,
It's
like I want to
hard.
say, yeah, I want to say Fulton, but I feel like Fulton, he just didn't look good in his last fight because, like, for one, he's been out of the ring for like a while, so I'm not gonna say like, oh, Fulton's just like a bad fighter now because Inoue, beat him, but
Hmm.
a lot of people like to say that because people don't want to be honest about like certain fighters don't have a good night because they didn't fight the right style. And yes, like styles do make fights, but also like a fighter's preparation of that night didn't prepare them effectively. So um I'll say honestly this is going to be like a split decision victory on either side, but I'm probably gonna lean with Fulton because I feel like Figueroa, he's a very good inside fighter, but the problem with him is like he leans in way too much, and he leaves himself wide open in exchanges where the judging will see that, and if he can use that to basically find his way where he did in the first fight, um, I think he could figure out, Figueroa very quickly. And on top of that, if Fulton makes Figueroa think like, oh well, this guy he can get knocked out a lot easier at 126,
Hmm.
um, you might see Brandon Figueroa try to knock him out because for one, if he feels like that, it's going to be like a robbery.
Yeah.
He would want to knock him out because it makes perfect sense because Fulton is a really good boxer to make judging good on his side, but Figueroa, he's a good inside fighter where if Fulton if he can't handle the pressure coming from Figueroa, then Fulton, he could get knocked out. So I think personally, this fight's going to be too difficult where I think Fulton might edge it out in a split decision victory.
Yeah, either way, it's going to be a good fight.
Yeah, I also would like to see them unify the other champions, and that's gonna be like a really good mix in the future.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um, I was also gonna ask about Isaac Pitbull Cruz going up against Angel Fierro.
I think Isaac might take it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but what do you think the opposite?
Um, yeah, I'll probably say so because the thing about Angel is like I was high on him, like when he beat some pretty good fighters
Yeah.
in the past, but the problem with him is like he's just like a one-dimensional fighter that has a lot of pressure, and he just kind of like showed me how he was as a fighter when he had that one draw with Juan Carlos Burgos in the past, and
Mhm.
you know, ever since his big victory that he had up against Alberto Machado from Puerto Rico,
Mhm.
um, he was doing good, but the problem with him is like his opponents that he's been fighting, like he wasn't fighting anybody like high tier level, but he has like he has a good style. It's just like the problem with him is that when he lost to his recent opponent Alfredo Santiago, that's one of Devahaney's former opponents from the
Mhm.
uh he's from the Dominican Republic.
Yeah.
He just made him look average and he just beat him down. And I was like, okay, well, I just don't know how far he's gonna go because, he needs to like he needs to move fast because he's gonna put himself in a much worse position if he continues fighting like the way he does. But I think Pitbull is gonna show like if he's not that good of a fighter, then Pitbull Cruz can very well knock him out. But I want to say this is going to be like a good like back and forth battle.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I was gonna say some other fights that I saw on this card. There's Jesus Ramos going up against Jason Rosario.
Oh, I say Jesus Ramos, but I mean, I don't know. It could go either way. I'm not sure. Um, what do you think?
Um. Yeah, I think it's gonna be Ramos because I like Jason Rosario, but I feel like he's just not like.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like his body is like reacting horrible to body shots, and I don't know if that's like a medical condition that he has, but I
Hmm.
yeah I would say that's just not like a good look for him. So
Well,
I don't want to see him get knocked out. Just coming back. Just to have people get victories over him. So
yeah, that's true.
yeah. I was gonna say Carmel Martin. He's gonna be on this card up against some other fighter. I think he's like a Cuban fighter. He's like 5-1, but um,
Hmm.
yeah. He's gonna be fighting at 135. I think he's now gonna move up to lightweight. Because his last fight he didn't make weight, and he wasn't able to fight back in December. So um, he's gonna be moving up from what I hear.
He's moving up. I mean, heavier. He's gonna be heavier than him. So maybe that's gonna give him an edge. But I mean, look, fight's a fight. Like it could always go either way. So that's why I don't really like. I don't know how people like bet and all that. um, right? Like, but yeah, like it's just that you never know like how they've been training. A fighter could come out and just fight completely different. But whoever has the best game plan is gonna win. What do
Yeah.
you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think Carmel Mon is a very skilled fighter. I do believe he's definitely gonna get himself like a world title. I really wanted to see him fight for the WBA title that Floyd Mayweather was trying to, you know, float that idea around where he wanted him to fight Lee Wood,
Hmm.
that had the WBA belt until Lee Wood vacated it, and now that's going back and forth with Nick Ball and all the other fighters. I don't see like a problem with like what he's doing now. I mean, he's getting better like extremely quickly, so I think it's good that he's like testing himself up against like opponents that are like just giving him good experience where they have like good decent pedigree. I'm not
Yeah.
like I'm not gonna like hype him up, like I'm just gonna keep supporting him, and then once he has like good adversity with like a good opponent, I think Carmel Mon, he's gonna be fine. He just needs
Mhm.
to not be a part of like the community where people try to like gaslight him, and just do
Yeah.
what yeah, just do exactly what you need to do. He has a lot of great skills. He just needs to focus on his skills, and then eventually I think I think he's gonna be fine. I don't see many people really giving him that many problems, and now that he's going up to lightweight, I think he's gonna probably like make some huge fights in the future with guys like Abdullah Mason,
Mhm.
Keyshawn Davis. Uh,
Yeah.
you know, he's definitely gonna see those people very soon. So I think Carmel Mountain, he's just an absolute monster. So he's just
Mhm.
gonna keep getting better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, There's that other fight card I wanted to ask you about with Diego Pacheco going up against Mr. I think Steven Nelson.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Wait, is this what card is it gonna be on?
that's on Matchroom Boxing. That's gonna
Matchroom
be,
Box.
yeah.
When is that? When is it?
Um, that's coming up. I want to say this Saturday. Yeah, that's coming up this Saturday.
Yeah, I'm not too sure honestly because I haven't been like following along that much. I'll take you. Let's get your take on it though. I feel like.
Yeah. I mean, I'm always supremely like, you know, like I don't know, like I'm very critical when I decipher boxing fights, but
Mhm.
uh I would I personally think this is gonna be like a draw because I feel like both of these guys are too good. But
Mhm.
honestly, Diego Pacheco, he's a really good fighter. I like him a lot. I think he's gonna be proving himself with this fight where if he's ready to go up against at the top level opposition at 168. I think Steven Nelson is a perfect opponent because even though he doesn't have the best name recognition as a fighter, he's in the camp with people like Terrence Crawford, with Bomac and them. So
Mhm.
he's
Yeah.
not no walk in the park. I've seen Steven Nelson fight, and he can hit really he hits really hard. He has a really good inside game. I think Diego Pacheco is going to have a really difficult time if he can't figure that out. But I feel like his jab is just going to like offset him, and if he figures that out quickly, then Steven Nelson, he has to find a way to break through it, and he needs to make the fight competitive on the inside. Because one thing that like I'll say that one thing that Diego is really good at doing, he's good at using his jab and forcing pressure to
Mhm.
force combos in his favor. So if Steven can find a way to counter that and parry while he's coming in, I think Steven, he could very well hurt him because Diego has shown to be somewhat hurt, but he hasn't been shown like to be like extremely vulnerable when somebody hits him with like a big shot. So um, I
Mhm.
will say uh, I will say Diego's chin is really good, but I think Steven Nelson will be that perfect opponent to like showcase who's gonna get hurt, and I think it's gonna be like a back and forth fight. But I'll probably say Diego Pacheco by like a split decision. I think this is gonna be a very difficult fight to score.
Damn, I can't wait to watch all of these fights. Um, There's also a fight. I think there's like next. No, yeah. There's like the Golden Boy fights. Is what is that's like?
Oh
I
yeah,
think it's
Eric
this
Priest.
week. Isn't it this week?
Yeah, this is that's on Thursday. That's Thursday coming up.
What do you got?
Um, yeah, for this fight card, um, I I don't know. Uh, I feel like this is gonna be a fun fight card. Oh wait, actually, that fight card is yeah, that's coming up January 23rd, and then also there's a ProBox TV that's gonna be tomorrow. If you're if you're interested in that,
Hmm.
um, that's gonna be Najee Lopez going up against Lenin Castillo.
Damn, that's
Um,
wow. Damn, there's so many fights.
yeah, boxing has
Mm.
been pretty quiet for the past couple weeks, but I'm happy things are coming back into full swing.
Yeah, it's starting to pick up.
Yeah, the female fights are somewhat coming up, and I've been watching some of them, but they've been like dying out a lot. So
Yeah, who's there's no is there female fights? Which ones are coming up?
oh, I think Natasha Jonas, she's gonna be fighting Lauren Price. That
Hmm.
that that girl from like I think she's from Wales, right?
Oh, okay. That's why I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah, they're fighting for undisputed for like 147. So for the welterweight
Okay,
undisputed title. Oh wait, actually,
nice.
yeah, that fight's coming up in March. That's not coming anytime soon, but yeah, March 7th.
Okay, okay. Nice, nice.
Yeah, that'll be okay. I'm not like I'm not really like excited for that fight, but
Hmm.
um I feel like Natasha Jonas she needs to hang it up, or else she should be fighting Clarissa Shields.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, I wanna see Clarissa fight Alicia Baumgartner, but I feel like
Oh,
yeah, I feel
wait.
like
Are they gonna? You think they will or?
um I feel like no. I feel like Clarissa's making up excuses to not fight her. But
But I thought she was bigger. Oh no, wait. Now they're in the same. Wait, I thought Baumgartner was a little smaller than Clarissa.
yeah, she fights at 130 at super featherweight. Clarissa fights at like one. Well, she's like at heavyweight now at like 175. But
Yeah.
um, I personally don't mind seeing the fight if there can be a catch weight. I believe Alicia said in the past that she wanted to fight her at like 147 if that's
Mhm.
possible. And I think Clarissa tried to make the excuse to say like, oh well, I don't need to fight you, and like she was making a lot of weird baseless claims, and it wasn't it wasn't making any sense. She like like as far as like the fight goes, like that fight would be a huge fight to have, but
Yeah.
I think like Clarissa just going up to heavyweight where nobody asked her to go up to that division, that's not gonna make you any money, and she's not making her name any better if she's not wanting to fight any big fights like Alicia Baumgartner, or I wouldn't even mind like maybe Amanda Serrano, but I feel like Alicia Baumgartner, that's like a way better sell, because Baumgartner and her like having like all the trash talking building up to the
Right.
fight. Yeah, yeah.
There will be another Michaela versus Baumgartner type thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, speaking of Michaela Mayer, like she's gonna rematch Sandy Ryan, in which I thought Sandy beat her in the first fight. I didn't see Michaela really win that fight. She had her moments, but that fight could have easily been a draw, or at least a good majority decision for Sandy.
Hmm. Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, they both had their moments, but I feel like the judges. I hope like they. I mean, I think she won. I think Michaela did enough to win, but I mean, there. Yeah, the Sandy did have her moments and stuff, but yeah. Let's see this. It's the rematch. When is that exactly? Do you know? Or
Um, I'm not too sure. That should happen in the future, sometime this year, but I think that'll be probably coming up in like another top ranked card that we'll be scheduled. But um, I think that's gonna be pretty good to see.
What's
Um,
a women's fight that you would want to see? That like besides the Shields and Baumgartner.
um, honestly, I don't even know. Actually, I wouldn't mind seeing Caroline Dubois fight Alicia or fight Michaela Mayer. That would be a fun fight.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, I like Caroline. She's a beast, man. She's awesome. She's like really good, and I feel like that she's just gonna get undisputed, and she's gonna do pretty good in the future.
Yeah, definitely. Um, but yeah, thank you for the collaboration.
Oh yeah. I wanted to just ask you for one more fight that was coming up for the upcoming days. I
Mhm.
wanted to get your take on the Andy Cruz versus Omar Salcido fight on the Diego Pacheco Steven Nelson fight card.
Well, they're both really good fighters. I'm gonna go with Andy Cruz for this one. But I mean, yeah, like I said, like I don't know. It could go either way. Um, I keep saying that, but what do you think? What do you think?
I don't know. I think Salcido, he's a really good fighter, man. He actually knocked out Chris Colbert in the Pro Box fight card that happened
Hmm.
back in October, and his corner stopped it. His corner threw in the towel. I know that Salcido, he trains with David Benavidez' team.
Oh
Um,
shit! Yeah.
yeah, he's a good fighter. I don't know how that fight's gonna go down, but I feel like Andy's gonna you know I feel like Andy's gonna outbox him, and I feel like it's gonna be like a really tough battle to fight.
Yeah, it's gonna be a war for sure.
Yeah, um, I think a lot of these fight cards coming up are gonna be competitive. There's definitely gonna be more big fights coming up with Turkey Al Sheik trying to bring up more fight cards in the future, and I think a lot of big fights are gonna come out of his promotional dealings that he's doing right now.
Yeah, I feel like it just like I guess it all depends on like who wants it more and yeah, who's gonna implement the game plan and yeah, who's more hungrier basically.
Yeah, for sure. I wanted to finalize to ask you, as far as what you're doing with your career. Correct me if I'm wrong. You're doing bare knuckle boxing or boxing, right?
Yeah, I mean I my last fight, yeah, I was doing bare knuckle fighting, but I, as you know, I broke my hand. I broke this bone
Oh
right here,
man.
and then I had to have surgery. So there's like a plate in there. So, but then we didn't notice that this finger was fractured, and then
Wow.
they found out too late. And look at it. Look, this is a normal one. This is a
Yeah.
so it's still healing. It's been like 9 months, and I could barely like make a fist. I can't really close it, and it
Yeah.
hurts. It hurts to like do any like if I hit it, like it hurts, and it just sucks
Yeah.
because I've been out for a while. It's so annoying. I hope I'm just building patience. I don't know what's going on, but I hope it does get better because I do want to get back in there. But I might go back to my first love, which is boxing.
Okay.
Unless if they offer me some good offers in bare knuckle, but I mean, honestly, I don't know. It's just that like I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to do bare knuckle because of my finger and my hand. Um, but maybe if it's wrapped up, it would be different and wearing a glove. Um, I don't know what's gonna happen, so I'm kind of in a limbo. Or I don't even know what this is, but it sucks. I'm still training and stuff, but not like as if I'm getting ready for a fight. But it sucks. Yeah, so that's why I'm doing all this other stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Wow, that's crazy, man.
Yeah, it still hurts. And I actually went to Mexico the other day and like got like a bunch of injections in here. Like it's supposed to like ozone therapy or whatever. They said that it was gonna help try to rebuild the art because I have arthritis in my fingernail, so it's like bone on bone because the cartilage like went away because it healed wrong. And so they were like, they said that might help. If there is a little bit of cartilage left, it will help it like grow back. So honestly, I'm just praying for a miracle. So yeah.
Yeah, like I hope you heal well. Wow, that's
Yeah, it sucks.
yeah, that's probably like one of like that's probably like the craziest injury that I would never want to have. So
Yeah, it sucks when you're like you're out and it's like I just got like I'm just like now world champ and I want to defend it all that, but I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what I can do. It's not really in my hands. In my hands. I'm just kidding.
I want to see you knock out all these female boxers, man. Like
Yeah, I once I'm
shut
back.
up!
Watch.
All these weird female fighters talking all this smack on social media, saying like
Don't
I'm
worry.
better than all these girls.
Don't worry. I'm gonna hopefully I heal up and get back in there and sweep up everyone. But yeah, I'm trying to stay optimistic. You know, some days it's like hard and some days it's easy, but yeah, I feel like yeah, like God uses every situation to make something good out of all the BS we put ourselves in or it happens to us. So I 100% believe that. So hopefully this will be a good story later when I am like I want to become world champion in boxing as well. So and that's been my goal and it sucks that like I haven't gotten there yet. So it's very annoying, but hopefully I will be able to box again.
Yeah. I hope you do well for the future, and you know, like I'll keep supporting, you know, until you know that the final days come. So you know, I appreciate having this conversation with you, and hopefully we could do this again.
Thank you. Yeah, for sure. I appreciate it also. And yeah, we'll do this again soon.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, I was gonna say, if you have any last words before you sign off, go for it.
Keep on fighting. Even if it looks like you're not going anywhere, keep fighting for your dreams. Every day, do something that makes you happy. You're the only one that can make yourself happy. It's okay to have those bad days, but never get stuck in that hut.
Yes, ma'am. There is no knowledge that is not power.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
All
All
right.
right. I
Bye.
will.
Have a good one, everyone.
Yes, ma'am. I will see you later.
See you.
All right. Thank you guys. This was a pretty good show that I had. Shout out to Agnesa. She is an amazing woman. And yeah, man, just wanted to get back on here. Definitely gonna make back a lot of videos for the content, so I can keep expanding for you guys. So yeah, shout out to Agnesa, and I will definitely come back soon. Definitely got more gaming videos for y'all today. Well, or coming up in the future. So I will see you guys later. Have a good day, and until we see each other again, chat. All right, peace out, and here's the outro.